Hello,
What's up,
this is Joe
bro?
Sonona
What's up?
from Coffee Talk, Sonona Speaks seminars. This is a special segment. I am honored to have John McAllister here from, is it Wichita, Kansas?
I am in Kansas City, Missouri, actually.
Kansas City, Missouri. Kansas
Yeah.
City, Missouri. John is not just my colleague in EXP, but he has been in sales for the last 7 years. John, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself before we start our dialogue on special segments?
Yeah. Hey, Joe. Thank you so much for having me today. It means the world to me. Yeah. So, like Joe said, I am currently I'm a realtor with EXP Realty. I got my license in both Kansas and Missouri since we straddled the state line last August. I got enrolled into Zero to Diamond through Ricky Caruth, who actually learned from Joe, for those of y'all that don't know. And I did the weekly emails. I did the calls via Redex. And we can get into more of that later. But besides that, not only am I a realtor, I do work a full time sales job as a freight broker as well here in Kansas City. And I also just recently started a channel as well with the inspiration of Ricky. We can get into that later. But yeah, life is good. I started practicing Ricky's principles when I started coming back to the office in January after doing a little bit in real estate. And I never really felt like I was truly connecting with people. I was getting lots of emails, I was getting a couple of visits here and there, but it just felt like I could never get any more substance out of it. And I either got ghosted, unsubscribed, which doesn't matter if our intentions are right. But yeah, as soon as I was able to start really practicing these principles and coming back to a brick and mortar office, me, myself, I need to be in a physical office. Working from home was just killing me after 9 months, especially with the winter and the gray sky and just the isolation. So anyway, I started applying Ricky's principles and the zero to diamond principles that that you guys embody and have taught me in my everyday work life. And I currently make my company about I was no I was before I was making my company about 15K a month in revenue, which is pretty good. But now I have a $32,000 on average book of business every month. No, I'm not a super rich dude yet, at least, but I do believe that I can help other people and just show that someone, an everyday person like myself, does have the ability to help people with what they have, and just to show people that, hey, stop thinking that you won't be happy or rich if you're making 500K a year. Because I'm probably on track to make about 70 this year, give or take, and I am super happy and have everything I want. The money is not everything. Like Joe and I were talking, actually DMing last night too. I got everything that I ever wanted and still felt unfulfilled, like there was something more. So really just learning that helping people is where the real joy is in life, and being able to give back and see other people that were struggling like you were, to see a reflection of yourself and pick them up. That absolutely means the world to me. And I do that for free, and I do it because I love it. So
Do you well, this is really great, and
thank you.
it's an inspiration because a lot of agents in the business, a lot of brokers in the business, managers in the business can really learn a little bit from special segments, whereas we're teaching them how to not just better their business, but probably better their mindset. And like myself, I was one of those agents that started out and didn't make anything in the first 6 months. In the
Yeah.
first 6 months of real estate, but it really took a mindset change to realize that sales is sales, but relationships is even, it goes even deeper, right? Because once you have the relationship, you'll have the transaction, you'll have the sales. And by the way, I just want to make a disclaimer to you, Mr. McAllister, that I did not teach Ricky Caruth everything he knows, but we do have the same philosophies of
Yes.
relationships over transactions. And it was through those relationships that I have built up in 32 years that I have really stitched, if you will, a nice relationship with my community on a national network, on a global network now. What is the secret of success, do you think?
Yeah. Yeah. Just like you said, Joe, I think at the end of the day, if we realize, at least my experiences has been, the moment that I realize that all that I need to do is understand that, and I'm in the B2B space too, right? So I've experienced being in both B2C and B2B, B2C being real estate. Most of the time, unless we're dealing with a very long chain of buyers and purchasing agents that really do see numbers, because it is freight, right? It is commoditized to a degree. Your service can never be replicated. But anyway, once I saw that most of these people just want someone that's easy to work with and make it smooth, that does what they say they're going to do. By the way, guys, people will pay you a lot of money to do what you say you're going to do when you're going to do it. It's something that is just underrated these days. As soon as I realized that, and I really, not only that, but I truly ingrained this into my soul. And this took me about 6 months of from when I got licensed and started following Ricky and others to now to fully digest it. But something happened to me. And Joe, I don't know if you had a moment like this as well. I'd love to hear about it. Something happened to me about a week and a half ago where I just started cleaning in my house and I just kept cleaning and cleaning and cleaning and deep cleaned the entire apartment. And I was up very, very late. And I just thought and thought and thought about what was holding me back in my life. And all that was me and seeing people as sources of income versus someone I can help. And as long as our intention is to bring value to the situation, even if it means we don't get paid, because money is not even everything, by the way. As long as I'm taken care of, I'm super happy. If we can keep that mindset, man, my experience and yours, I'm sure, and yours has definitely been through all the years, is my deals 10x. They felt a lot. It felt like it took a lot less effort to make deals. My conversations were quicker with my clients. We got to the point, built value quicker, saved them and myself time.
Do you think that a mindset change, right, and could change even the verbiage of your conversation? That
Yes.
words are so powerful that people will cling to them a lot quicker because you're more engaging now with your audience member
Yes.
than you ever were before, right?
Yeah, and that's another thing I've really, kind of taken from Ricky and molded into my own is just talk to customers like they're your friend, man. And there we go. I don't know if you caught that, man. Like, what's going on, man? Like, this is how my conversations are now with my customers, whether it's an account that I'm going to enroll or let's say I'm following up. If this is just somebody I'm following up with or we're dealing with a shipment, because I'm not only a salesperson, I'm also a shipping manager, basically, too. So when that truck is in transit, we have to account for ETAs, et cetera, et cetera. We really do move people's businesses forward in the freight aspect. Because, like,
How did COVID affect it, or post
yeah,
COVID?
I'd love to talk to you about that as well. To answer your first question on the communication aspect, an example of that is, hey, we got you guys. Like, let's say you put a truck on the market, needs to go quick. Hey, man, we got you a truck for 2,500. Does that work for you? Great. I'm going to send you a shipping BOL in 2 seconds. Email the ETA. And of course, you need anything, just give me a shout. Like, how simple is that? Whereas before, I used to think that I had to sound like some official, like I had to be Keanu Reeves from that Devil movie he was in and be this polished, like official. And honestly, that was such a waste of time. And that wasted so much time. It really held me back from actually pursuing greatness and failing and learning. But to answer your second question, yeah, how did COVID affect our business? So last March, we got a company email that said, hey guys, we might be working from home. We want you guys to download this app just in case. A week later, to my surprise, haha, we are all working from home. How it affected the freight industry, we saw trucking companies, we saw a lot of drivers get out of the business, a lot of fearful sentiment in the market. We saw the mom and pop trucking companies, the smaller fleeting companies, they exited the marketplace. Guys that are about my dad's age in their early to mid 60s that could still be working but were about to retire or could, they got out of the business.
Interesting.
There wasn't any freight. There were shutdowns in California. Was it severe congestion at the ports of Los Angeles, in New Jersey, in Florida. So what this created when we had that lockdown, we saw whether it's companies that ship one or two skids like FedEx, we saw understaffing. We saw way too much work at any given at any given terminal. There could have been 20 to 30 full trailers full of freight that hadn't even been sorted through. I mean, people that weren't getting their freight for weeks. This created another scarcity of drivers in the market where there ended up being about, when this whole paranoia lockdown started about early April, all of a sudden there were anywhere from 10 to 15 loads per every truck out there on the road. So what does this mean? Drivers get to pick the places they want to pick up and deliver to. If they want the hot lanes like Dallas to LA, that there's always going to be freight and it's got to be on pallets, can't be floor loaded, can't be more than 100 grand, which is the standard trucking liability. Blah blah. Anyway, drivers became picky, and not only that, they started freaking gouging people on rates like horribly. Like I used to do truckloads from Atlanta to Los Angeles, and the average market rate was about 3,200. We were seeing offers on these truckloads as high as $5, $6, $7,000. We saw a lot of our small customers go out of business. We saw a lot of accounts fail to be able to pay invoices and get sent to collections at no fault of their own. They were well-intending businesses. This was just an anomaly.
But John, now, okay, so we knew the bad, we knew what was going on. How did you handle all of the collapse and the crisis, and how does that serve as inspiration for somebody, not necessarily who's in trucking, but for somebody like myself who's in real estate? We're in real estate. How do we handle crises when we, and what's the plan of action? God forbid this should happen again. What kind of mindset do you think we should have?
Yep, Joe, another great question, right? So we're going to take a little bit of what I just talked about, the bad. We're going to bridge right into the good, not only how it helped me, but can apply to anybody. So during this time, the biggest thing that my manager at the time, Wayne, had said is, guys, reach out to your customers. Let them know that we are fully operational. So this strengthened a lot of my relationships and my accounts that maybe weren't shipping with me as much. There were accounts where I was able to show up and be a superstar and find a truck for them in a jiffy, and now I get all their business. So that gave me an opportunity to not only show up for them. I personally went through a very bad breakup when this happened, and my girlfriend was actually a nurse and an occupational therapist, I should say, and couldn't be around anyone. And I got broken up with over FaceTime, so I was crushed.
Oh my goodness!
I feel to, like I said, let's get in touch with customers. The next thing is I was able to educate my clients on what is going on with the market, just like we do as realtors with scarcity, inventory, etc. I was able to educate them, and not only that, but they just got to know me better. So when it does come time to get a truck shipped or something like that, I'm not promising a low price or what they want. I am not only giving them the real market price based on what's going on. We're going to get them a truck that's going to move, and it makes me look more professional. Besides that, man, my book grew. I was able, in this isolation myself, I was able to take that and start reading books. I was able to change up my diet and my workouts, got in better shape. As a result of being single, I had more time to myself. And during this time, I said, you know what? Let's do real estate. So I went to real estate school last summer, got my license, passed my test in Kansas in August, and I've been doing that ever since. And once I was able to get
physically, mentally, emotionally, led to your financial success, right? And not only that, but you had to say pretty much you had to shut the noise down.
Exactly.
That's what I do when I'm handling a crisis or there's something that collapses or implodes into my life. I have to go, okay, shut the noise down so that we can have this balance between sanity and insanity, especially going through a pandemic, going through a breakup like you did, going through any type of crisis that comes our way. Is that a good mindset?
Oh my gosh, that is going to literally, just like, I don't really watch the news much. I do care about world events, but
I mean, look, it is what it is, right? But we could shut the noise. My wife won't even turn on the news, but I'm enthralled by it, believe it or not. But at the same time, I don't want to live in a rose-colored glass world either. But you know what I mean? But I still want to maintain some sort of sanity while I'm working, while I'm, the world is really upset, right? We're upset at itself. And while we're in this turmoil, they need people like us to manage them a little bit, or their sanity, so that there's a balance between the insane things that they go through or they're feeling emotionally, and then they meet people like us who are going to coach them through the insane waters of their turbulent life, right? And
Yeah.
everybody's got a story right out there. So
Yeah.
in this almost post COVID world of ours, we say to ourselves, you know, we're going to be there through that trying time, to that negative, to that downturn, you know. And now we're headed for what? What are we headed for? Whatever it is, like I want to be there for my clientele as well. But how do we help us? How do you help
Yeah.
you as a coach?
Absolutely, man. So first off, and I know you do as well, every coach and mentor is going to need coaches and mentors who have coaches and mentors, right? So getting out of this first, right? Because it's so easy for me to get in my head and get caught up in thinking that I am this horrible person that I'm really not. And it could have literally just stemmed from, like, I'm in Kansas City, so it's kind of windy here a lot of the year. It could have been a piece of wind that caught like my hair that I gelled up and styled that morning, and now it looks like alfalfa. Like if I get a little feeling that I can build, but dude, just keeping that tunnel vision and getting out of your head, keeping that tunnel vision. Probably the biggest thing one of the top concepts I took from Zero to Diamond that I've applied to my life, my program is everything is out of our control except what we can do to the best of our ability. Everything's out of our control. So there could be another sickness outbreak. There could be, like, I had a family member that I have a good sum of money that I want to invest into a brokerage account that objected to how much I was going to put in there, which I totally get. But he was saying, what if this or what if that happened? And you know what I think about this day, and no disrespect to my father by any means, I love you, is what if a guy named Phil that's in Detroit, Michigan woke up and turned his lights on and started cooking pasta today? Like, what if that happened? So either all I'm getting at is you've got it, and I believe that I finally felt it myself, just this tunnel vision of focus, and that no matter what happens, you know what you're here to do. That's all that matters, enrich others, and boom, you're going to be taken care of.
Well, I think that our fathers, mothers, come from a generation of not distrust but of fear, right?
Yep.
And now we are in a generation of look at the fear. Our children will probably come at that fear factor a little bit stronger because of the fact that we're laying the brick down to not fear. We still
Yeah.
have a portion of fear inside of ourselves because it was planted there by the previous generation that said, let's take it a step, back a little bit. Let's, because they were fearful and now we are we're trying to learn fearless, and then our children will be fearless more so because we took that extra step to teach fearless, right?
That's what I'm saying. And I don't believe my dad thinks this either, because he does very well for himself now. But one thing that I will absolutely make sure that I let my kids know is that there is no scarcity of money out there,
Yeah.
and money's an illusion. Money is good for, like, paying for your car and your place and getting everything you want done and get you from A to B, and, be the means to an end. But at the end of the day, if I'm sitting in my house or this car and have all the nice stuff, if I don't feel good about myself or like I'm not contributing, then what am I living for, to be really honest? And that's really when I finally understood, like I said in the beginning, I don't have to have already made it to be able to contribute to other people and enrich other people's lives. I don't have to already be out there to be able to do that. I realized what I can do and contribute, and I feel like I could help a lot of people out. So I'm rolling with it, man.
That's good. And your faith is intact.
Yes. Yep. I don't have any specific beliefs as of now, but I was actually telling another friend of mine who does Instagram and influencing and videos and stuff, that I feel like there was some kind of divine event in my life happening lately from whatever higher power is out there. Something did reach out and finally touched me, and maybe that being touched could have really just meant I had a long enough time to digest this concept. And also,
As somebody who is a believer of many things, and I do believe in divine inspiration. I believe in divine intervention, and
yeah,
I think that you have to. Somebody told me this a long time ago. You have to have all your wheels balanced: your
yeah,
financial picture, emotional picture, your spiritual picture, and your business life, your personal life as well. They all have to have a balance. These wheels, they have to, and when one goes out of whack, the rest of them start going out of whack. So it is truly something that I feel that special segments today was worth it, because there is a mindset out there, pre-COVID, post-COVID, that has to come into everybody's life, and we have to now start evaluating what we need to do, to adapt to. Not, I hate the word new normal. I hate the word normal too, because normal will never be here again. But I think that the change that we all have experienced post COVID has been a different mindset. And
yeah,
it's you and me coaching, and Ricky, our partner, our business partner, coaching the world of salespeople to be a little bit more mindful of the people that are out there that need the direction or the different mindset. What do you think
exactly.
of that?
Exactly. And you never know. And here's another thing: you never know whether it's a manager with a rep with a way bigger book than you, or agent with a way bigger book of business. You never know who's actually struggling, even if the numbers are there. I think
Right.
some people they just need a fresh perspective. So that's one area there. And like I said, just so many new reps that I see, whether at my company or in real estate. And I'll give you a perfect example too. I got hit up by a lady on Facebook today saying, "Hi, John, how are you? Nice to talk to you. Oh, by the way, I do inbound agent buyer seller calls, blah, blah, blah." And I told her that, hey, I'm not really an active agent. I am technically because I'm licensed, but that is not something I need right now. But I would love to connect with you. If there's anything I can share on her side, or you can subscribe, awesome. And then all of a sudden, she's like, "Hey, can I just give you a quick informational call Monday?" And I'm like, "Absolutely. I'd love to lay the pipe down and have a relationship for later." And then you know what she says? "Okay, great. Mr. CEO of whatever company will be calling you then." And do you know what I told her? I said, "Please cancel that call. I feel beyond used right now." I felt beyond used. And that, I believe, is the mindset that a lot of sales reps, whether they're fresh or they've been in the business a while, that they were ingrained and taught a lot of the time at the cost of money, right? That
Crazy, crazy
if you're not
stuff.
motivated, your time, obviously our time's all valuable, but if they're not motivated, they don't have something now, then peace out, dude. And how about, hey, like, I don't care if you're going to make me money or not. Like, sometimes helping people is referring them to a business that can either do a better job or something you can't even do. Or if they're getting a better deal, like there was a big job that I bidded on earlier today, 7 trucks. And the guy said, "Hey, man, like, we're getting way cheaper quotes." And I said, "Awesome, man. Like, I'm glad to hear that. But just know my company is, we've got the most resources and we will get you covered if you need us." So I think that when I stopped caring and stopped giving up, that is when everything changed. And I think that that is when you have that tunnel vision and just know that you are never wrong. And I know that with your principles and Ricky's that I've learned and caught on, and I'm still learning, get to know you, that I'll never go wrong in any area of my life. I firmly believe that if I can
Well, at
just keep,
least I know that I have somebody else is listening to me.
you know it, man. I'm be
Well,
glad to
John, this
point
has
it out.
been great. This has been great. We have to do a part two to this, and continue on with this journey to inspire people in our circles. You're certainly midway to the country. Maybe we'll get a third person here to kind of inspire us from one end of the coast to the other, and you in the
Yeah,
middle.
that's what I'm saying. And guys, real quick before we sign off again, for those of y'all don't know Joe's, or for those of you guys that do not follow Joe on his socials, what are your socials?
Oh, I'm at Sonona Speaks Seminars on Facebook, Sonona Speaks Seminars on Instagram. And soon we're launching our YouTube channel, Sonona Speaks
Woo-hoo!
Seminars. and we're going to have all of our coffee talks there, our special segments there. So if you miss any, you could always go to YouTube as well. So definitely excited about that. But John McAllister, thank you for being my guest on special segments. And keep on rocking with those trucks and bring those freights home, because we need our deliveries.
Exactly. And guys, I will post both of our links, Instagram and social links, in the chat. Again, I'm John McAllister with the Real McAllister being free program, money on teaching books later on. Like Ricky said, I'm in Kansas City, Missouri, licensed to sell real estate in both Kansas and Missouri, of course. I am a freight broker, and I have a YouTube channel. It is the Real McAllister. We'll have that link in there. If there's anything that either of us can do to help you, it doesn't even have to be business or sales. We're here to help you because we have gotten this mindset inside of us and are ready to take off and do big things. And we want you guys to come with us. So hopefully you join.
Absolutely. This is Sonona Speak Seminars. This is Joe Sonona with another interesting talk with my friend John McAllister. And we brought you special segments on this fine day. Thank you, John.
Woo! Thank you, Joe. See you later.
Take care.